It's 1 minute to go. I think we will start on time at 1:30, and we will just let people in as they come. And we had sent a note earlier in the day about 11ish. If you have the Zoom updated version, it actually allows us to switch between the rooms. So hope you managed to update the Zoom. Otherwise, it's okay. You can still be in the track that you are in, and you can view the recorded sessions later on. Okay, so it's 1:30. Welcome to SUTD's Pedagogy Day 2020. It has been months of preparation, and we are very excited to be here with you. Thanks to all our faculty members, thanks to our esteemed guests, thanks to our provost, of course, and our associate provost, Professor Lim Se Chun, our provost, and Associate Provost for Undergraduate Studies, Professor Pei Kin Leong, and all our colleagues, faculty members, colleagues from Aalto University, colleagues from Singapore, from other countries as well, not many, but a handful of them. Okay, so we are really, very excited. And the theme for this year is going to be digital learning. As we can see, this is happening virtually, digitally, because of the COVID-19 situation. And we are all struggling and trying to see how to move our education to be online. So that is the reason for choosing this theme. And as you know, SUTD, as in our name, we have always been into digital technologies in our teaching and learning, and we have a lot of good showcases to share as well. So this is going to be a 4-hour virtual session, which is going to be quite long. So grab your water bottle, and you may want to take a break once in a while. We do have scheduled time breaks in the event. We will be having a common session at the start. Okay, we will be having the keynote, the opening note and the keynote at the start. We will have a short break, and then we will have 2 tracks. The track 1 is mostly on the STEM subjects, physics, mathematics, and so on, programming. And the second session is more on the creative, humanities, arts and social side, design thinking, critical thinking, and so on and so forth. And then we will have a short break and come back again to the common room, in which I will share about the educational development work at SUTD, and also we will have a closing note by Professor Pei Kin Leong, and then we call it a day. So it's going to be a very packed day for us, and you can find this program schedule in our website. If you want, you can always ask in the chat box and we can give you the link. You can open up the link in your tabs, okay? This is going to be video recorded, so we do ask everyone to unmute yourself and also to switch off the video for most part of the event for bandwidth purposes. But we will have photo taking sessions. As you know, we are not virtually together, we are not together, right? So we won't have opportunities to take photos and remember this event. So we have spread out 4 photo taking time slots, 2 to 3 minutes, right? So if you can not unmute, unvideo, undo the video button, and you can show your presence here, we will be very happy to say hi to you and wave to you and even chat with you. Okay, so turn off your microphones, turn off your videos except for photo taking. We will use OneNote for the question and answer session. I will be sharing the link with you in the next slides. We will use the Zoom chat feature for technical questions, but if you're confused, doesn't matter. Basically, because it is so short timed, so we won't have much chance for verbal questions, right? So we wanted to create an opportunity for you to have this conversation online but offline, okay? And most of all, be engaged, provide constructive feedback, comments, make it a learning environment and have fun. So as I mentioned, the Zoom version needs to be 5.3.0. And if you don't have that or you're not sure, it's okay, we will get through the day and you will get the videos in the end. So this is going to be the OneNote link. You can go here. This is an online document where you can actually click and add your comments. or questions. And then the speakers, we request all the speakers to also provide your responses to the participants. So this is not during the conversation, it is like a backlane conversation that you're going to be having. And if you want to comment on each other's, you can also change the font color and things like that, and you can add on your thoughts. All right. So who is behind this event? Basically, especially for today's event, it is people from the Learning Sciences Lab, myself and Fraser. And also we have our co-host for today, Vijaya, and Joel from Library. And of course, we have our IT help desk colleagues who are here to support in running this online event. Because it's a virtual event, we didn't need a big group like the other pedagogy days that we have been having. And as you might know, this is the 10th pedagogy day that we are having at SUTD, started by Professor Pei Kin Leong and his team. And LSL has joined now in the last 4 years. So in the pre-survey, right, pre-event survey, we had asked you, what would you want from today's event? And many of you had talked about digital learning, innovations in teaching and learning, online teaching, varied pedagogy, blended learning methods, and so on and so forth. And we hope that you achieve that by the end of the session today, right? So without much ado, let me welcome our provost, Professor Lim Se-chun, to provide the opening note. Prof. Lim Se-chun began his career at SUTD in May 2014. He has been one of our pioneers. And before that, he was from National University of Singapore as a Deputy Dean of Engineering. And he also oversaw the design-centric program in the NUS engineering faculty. He is a very, very, very well-reputed researcher, academic practitioner, and educational leader. And he is our second provost. So without much ado, let's welcome our provost, Prof. Lim Se-chun, to offer a few words. Thank you, Prof. Lim, please.
Thank you, Dr. Nacha. A very good afternoon to all of you joining us in this virtual conference that brings together the best of SUTD's teaching and learning innovations. This event celebrates our accomplishments in teaching and learning during the past year. This is the 10th Pedagogy Day organized by the SUTD Office of Undergraduate Studies under the leadership of Professor Pei Kin Leong, who is our Associate Provost for Undergraduate Studies and who also oversees SUTD Academy. This is the first time we have invited colleagues from other universities from beyond the Singapore shore by taking advantage of having it held virtually, an unexpected but positive outcome of the COVID-19 pandemic. I would therefore like to extend a very warm welcome to colleagues from Aalto University, Finland, for their participation, as well as for delivering the keynote presentation on surviving remote teaching, good practices using your pedagogical imagination and flexibility. We'd also like to welcome our colleagues from Zhejiang University from China, who is SUTD's strategic partner. We also welcome colleagues from the Ministry of Education, other local universities, polytechnics, junior colleges, and schools in Singapore, and other SUTD collaborators for your participation in this event. And of course, our SUTD community, undergraduate and graduate students, faculty, and staff member. A warm welcome to the Pedagogy Day. Aalto University, like SUTD, is a new university which started in 2010 by the Finnish government through the merging of 3 institutions, namely the Helsinki University of Technology, the Helsinki School of Economics, and the University of Art and Design, Helsinki, into one university. SUTD is also a new university set up in 2009 by the Singapore government as a 4th autonomous university. Instead of merging existing institutions, SUTD was established with 2 strategic partners, namely Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT, and Zhejiang University of China. We had our first classes in May 2012. So you can see there are considerable similarities between SUTD and Aalto. and we felt that a collaborative discussion on our pedagogical practices will be useful for mutual sharing and learning. I'm therefore most appreciative of their sharing through the keynote presentation later on. The SUTD Pedagogy Day was organized with the initial objective of sharing SUTD's new and unique learning pedagogies among faculty members. We started it as a twice-a-year event, as there were a great deal of learning and new developments in our undergraduate curriculum to share during the initial years. It also served as a wonderful platform to update and educate new faculty members of the adopted and newly developed pedagogies. The number of participants has grown steadily over the past 10 years. I'm told that we have more than 200 participants at this event today. I'm very much encouraged that many faculty members have participated in this event, and this shows how serious education is viewed by SUTD faculty members. The theme for this year is digital learning, and I think the reason is quite obvious. The unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic has virtually and seriously disrupted lives globally. We now work differently, and we have to learn differently too. Almost all institutions of learning had to resort to complete online learning for a period of time, and SUT was not spared. Digital learning is most likely going to be the new norm in teaching and learning post-COVID-19. So we need to embrace the use of technology in changing how we teach and how we use technology to overcome barriers and challenges. In today's conference, SUTD faculty members will present their innovations, experiments, and reflections in teaching online and digital learning. These will include the use of the latest technology, such as augmented and virtual reality, artificial intelligence for personalized learning, and ways of teaching design thinking and critical thinking online, using online platform or tools. Following the presentation by our faculty members, we will hear the status and plans for faculty educational development at SUTD, an overview of the practice of digital learning at SUTD, and future opportunities for cyber physical education by our Associate Provost for Undergraduate Studies, Professor Pei-King Leong. We hope that you will find these sessions useful and inspiring. I will strongly encourage you to interact with the presenters, as this will be mutually beneficial. You will find many of the ideas and case studies presented today and other interesting articles in our annual pedagogy magazine, EduScapes. This is published by the SUTD Learning Sciences Lab, and it is digitally available, and is our takeaway gift for all participation to this event. The theme for this edition is also digital learning. The transition to digital learning, particularly as a result of COVID-19, is captured on the cover of this magazine. It has various elements of digital learning superimposed on the COVID-19 virus to signify how we have used digital learning to overcome the disruptions caused by the pandemic. The Advanced Higher Education Fellowship recognizes personal and institutional commitment to excellence in teaching and learning in global higher education. The SUTD Learning Sciences Lab launched the SUTD Advanced Higher Education, or SUTD AHE, Fellowship Program in 2019. This is the first international professional recognition program for higher education leadership among the 6 autonomous universities in Singapore. All 7 applicants from the first batch were recognized with fellowship under different categories. One of the applicants was conferred the Principal Fellowship, the first in Singapore. They are AHE Principal Fellow, Dr. Nacha Shakalingam, Program Director, Learning Sciences Lab, Office of Undergraduate Studies, SUTD. Next, AHE Fellow, Dr. Chia Chin Wei, Senior Lecturer, Engineering Product Development, and Science and Mathematics Technology Cluster. Next, AHE Fellow, Dr. Lee Chi Hui. Senior Lecturer, Science and Mathematics and Technology Cluster. Next, AHE Fellow, Assistant Professor Nilanja Raghunath from our Humanities, Arts and Social Sciences Cluster. Next, AHE Fellow, Dr. Norman Lee Tiong Sing, Senior Lecturer from our Information Systems, Technology and Design pillars. Next, AHE Fellow, Dr. Oka Kuniawan, Senior Lecturer, Information Systems, Technology and Design pillar. And last but not least, AHE Fellow, Dr. Yachun Julia Chu, Senior Lecturer from Science, Mathematics and Technologies Cluster. Please join me in congratulating these 7 new Principal Fellow and Fellows for being recognized internationally for their professional contributions and achievements in higher education teaching and learning. With that, I wish all participants a very fruitful Pedagogy Day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Lim Si Chun. If it was an actual event, then there will be a lot of claps and all that. So now we don't have the thunder, but still we shall virtually imagine that excitement and celebration, and we move on to the